a little survey that asked about how it impacted their opinions on poverty. Some people didn't know that poverty was such a problem in the world, especially not in the U.S., and especially not in Clinton County. On the walls, we have different statistics. This is about children, how many children in the world are underweight and have stunted growth and are malnourished. This one here is about specifically the United States. 12.4 million children live in households in the U.S. where people have to skip meals or eat less to make ends meet, which means that 1 out of every 10 households in the U.S. are living with hunger or are at risk of hunger. Also, on the wall, they have definitions of terms like hunger and malnutrition, along with more pictures. The facts that were particularly interesting I blew up onto posters. This one here says that the United Nations Development Program estimates that the basic health and nutrition needs of the world's poorest people could be met for an additional $13 billion a year. And what's interesting about that and what strikes people is that people in the United States and Europe spend more than $13 billion a year on pet food. In the tunnel, I have a couple flyers about the ONE campaign, which is a campaign to eliminate global poverty and fight AIDS and malaria. Wilmington College is part of the ONE Campus Challenge, which is a challenge issued by the ONE campaign to all college and university campuses to raise awareness about poverty issues. Also, there are more definitions about food security and food insecurity, which is having access to enough nutrients in your food or not knowing where you're going to get your next meal, basically. I also put up maps of what are called hunger hotspots. You can see South America, a whole lot of it is hungry and impoverished. And there's one over there about Central America and the Caribbean. Actually, in Nicaragua, there's a garbage dump where people live, only because there's an influx of stuff every day, and they can go through, and that's how they live. They live in a garbage dump. This cartoon is sort of an embodiment of how Western society is treating the impoverished third world nations, the developing nations in the world. It says that they feed people with words, and you can see sort of the developed nations feeding the developing nations just with letters from books. Like, we keep telling them we're going to help them, but what are we actually doing? And what the ONE campaign seeks to do is put action to those words and actually do something about hunger and poverty issues in the world. And more hunger hotspot maps, that's East and South Asia. You see there's a big problem in China and India and Indonesia and everything. So many people in the world are hungry. And it just, the tunnel seeks to enlighten them as to where the problems actually are. It's not just Africa that's hungry, people are hungry everywhere. People are hungry here, people are hungry in Wilmington, Ohio, which brings me to this sheet here. This is just sort of to illuminate the impact that homelessness has in Wilmington, Ohio, in Clinton County, Ohio. In this calendar year, the Clinton County Homeless Shelter has housed over 167 men, women, and children. It's staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to aid people who need help whenever they need it. I thought this fact was interesting. In 2004, almost 1 billion people lived below the international poverty line, earning less than $1 a day. We spend more than $1 a day on bags of chips and bottles of pop, and that's all they have to live on. The next fact I blew up on a poster is that the foremost common childhood illnesses are diarrhea, acute respiratory illness, malaria, and measles. And each of these illnesses is preventable and treatable. We have people dying of diarrhea. And all we're doing over here is, if we get diarrhea, we give our kids Pepto-Bismol, we give them Pedialyte. They don't have that over there, they're dying of these preventable diseases. I have more pictures. Most of the pictures I chose were of children because that makes more of an impact on people. And you can see on that fact that 6 million children die a year from hunger-related causes. And it's just really sad and really enlightening to see pictures of kids that look like this.
flyer about the one campaign. This one is specific to our Wilmington College One chapter, which we recently started. We have meetings every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. at the Center for Service and Civic Engagement, and any student or faculty member, community member is welcome to